going on, everybody? So we're back talking some more Gen V Season 2 on the channel, Episode 5. Last week, we really saw the season truly start to heat up. There's a lot of stuff to take in, especially the climax, finding out that Cypher has powers, insanely strong ones too, it seems. Whether it be the boys or Gen V, this show has such an unusual way of catching me off guard. And that feeling is hammered home in the opening, centered around Cypher, taking care of Mr. Crispy, feeding him, bathing him. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, we get an appearance from Sister Sage. As far as new characters go, in the last season of The Boys, she was one of my favorites, so I'm not gonna complain about her getting some screen time in Gen V. Seemingly, in between seasons, she has become Madame Vought CEO. This relationship, so to speak, between the two of them sets up some really interesting plot threads to head into that final season of The Boys, due to the fact that they're scheming together to try and take down Homelander. If it had stopped there, that still would have been great, but then they had to go and start hooking up right in front of Mr. Crispy over here. I mean, he seems to have no problem watching, so more power to this relationship, I suppose. In passing later, Sister Sage, by the way, also confirmed that Ashley for sure survived taking Compound V. From the little we saw of her transformation in the finale, I'm excited but also scared to see what she looks like. When we finally shift back into the aftermath from the fight between Jordan and Marie, I continue to feel more and more horrible for Jordan in this situation, because I know if I was in that similar situation, somebody like Cypher decided to try and use me like a meat puppet to push my partner into blood bending me until I turned into a human-sized blood gusher. While on the surface it does appear that Cypher is picking on Jordan a whole lot, though, it's clear the reason why he's doing it more so is to try and push Marie. That type of tactic seems to be working time and time again, and we'll see that work again also later on in this same episode. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed now that the cat's kind of out of the bag as far as Cypher's powers and what his motives are. He's finding more and more ways to become unhinged. He goes and sends Kate back to Elmira, and they treat her horribly, egging on Polarity and talking about Andre and the fact that he pushed Andre to the point where his body gave out, following that up with stabbing himself in the hand after Polarity put a knife up to his throat. Just complete psycho behavior. This conversation and the mention towards Andre's death makes me incredibly nervous how far Cypher's willing to go in pushing Marie, since as we've learned already, he has no problem pushing people harder and harder until they literally fall over and die. By now, all of you are probably well aware that Andre's death looms large across all of Season 2, and while we don't know the specifics of the role his character is going to play in the storyline, they did confirm not too long ago 5 episodes were already written before Chance Perdomo passed away that they had to rewrite. In my opinion, I feel like they did give some of his plot to his father, and that does feel natural. Sean Patrick Thomas is killing it with this bigger, fleshed out role for Polarity in this season. One of the bigger surprises in episode 6 is Sam's storyline. I found myself being very endeared to him. Maybe it's because we saw a completely opposite reaction from Marie's family, but I was pleasantly surprised that Sam visited his family and they had a fairly warm reception. At least initially, until he freaks out and launches his dad across the yard thinking they're on the phone with Vought. Up to this point, it has been quite the journey seeing Sam struggle with his mental health, largely being in this constant state of paranoia. So the heart-to-heart he has with his mom, learning that they hoped that the Compound V would protect him from his family's history of mental illness. You know, I am kind of torn on the fact that he learns that his mental illness isn't because of Compound V, it's just because his family is crazy. Sam learning that about his history does give me some optimism and belief that Sam is on the road to fixing himself one way or another, because now he knows he has to be the one that fixes himself. Low-key, I felt a little bit of deja vu this week, because we just saw in the last episode they were formulating a different plan that didn't go well, and here they are formulating a brand new plan to try and break Kate out of Elmira. Don't get me wrong, I love these guys, they're great, but I wish that one of these days they learn that most of the plans that they execute, they kind of suck. Going back to Sam, I had to laugh that they actually try to incorporate him in assisting in this plan, and he just straight up says no, he doesn't like Kate and she deserves to be in there. Is that a very cold response that is kind of valid? I would say so. I mean, he made the right call because, of course, to the shock of absolutely nobody, this was a trap. Going into episode 6, I am really nervous for them though while they're in Elmira, since I'm on the same wavelength as Jordan when she brings up it feels way too easy that they're able to break out of here because nobody seems to be around. Gotta give it to Kate though, despite all of the stuff around her, she picks a staple out of her head, picks the lock, then follows that up with getting a guard to give her the keys, which arguably goes way worse for this guy compared to the dude with the garden gnome. Again though, with Cypher trying to push Marie in one way or another, with that reveal that he's holding her sister captive, and on top of that making her bleed out to force Marie to push so hard, saving her to where everyone's nose starts bleeding. Whether these kids want to believe it or not, Cypher is playing all of them so perfectly. Oftentimes it seems like they have no idea idea how well they're being played, how he's orchestrating so much stuff around him to inevitably get his way one way or another. Once you get a chance to check out the episode, share any thoughts down below, including theories we may have for the rest of the episodes of Season 2. Thank you guys. As always, checking out videos, I always do appreciate it. Make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to update for user actions, unboxings, and more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.